With the recent game update of 135, there was a couple of changes made to the Eye of Gemini artifact, and as a result of this, healers were no longer able to spam those low 2.5k supercharges such as Dash Attack, Pheromone Bloom, Metabolic Boost, and so on to give a lot of supercharges to the group. And as a result of this, I will be making a video to show that you can still not really spam supercharge, but you could still give a lot of supercharge back to the group, and I'll show this in a few. But before I move on, I just want to see if you guys want to see what the changes were made with the EOG artifact. Check out this video in the end screen, at the end screen of this video, and it will tell you exactly what was done, what was nerfed, what was buffed, and so on. And also, if you guys want to see my full spec water healing build, I'll have that also in the end screen video. With that being said, let's move on. So the first thing here, I'm not really going to go into the spec because the same spec I'm using is for my regular water healing build. I'm just going to show the gear I'm using, the artifacts, and the allies. So let's get right into it here. So for the weapon here, I'm using replenishing adapter, give you some additional power every 20 seconds. That's the head mod here. Supercharge Tranquil Pool grants 10% supercharge back to you when you use water Tranquil Pool. That will be part of the loadout, which I'll explain in a few. Then we have for the neck here, we have Focus Restoration, increase your restoration 5%. Accelerated Bubble for the back. For the chest, I'm using Reserve Tank, increases maximum power pool by 5%. For the legs, I'm using Restore Riptide, heals you a small amount. For the feet, Tumbler Master, and for the hands, max damage. For the setup, we're going to be using the artifact Quizlet. We'll read this real quick here. Alright, so Mega Blast grants the player 1% supercharge. So what is Mega Blast? On the top there, when you use a superpower, any superpower, Quizlet will cast a powerful attack that hits up to 8 targets with a 5-second internal cooldown. So basically, when you use your powers, make sure you're in combat though, because it doesn't work out of combat. So any power you use, it's going to regenerate 1% supercharge. Like I see the Mega Blast. Then we have Scrap of the Soul Cloak, going to give us 7. Well, let me read it here. Soul Tap increases your maximum supercharge and supercharge generation by 20%, 27%, and reduces your supercharge ability cooldowns by 22.5%. So you could, use supercharge faster, and it regenerates supercharge faster, 20% faster. And also, when you hit your supercharge, you restore 7% max supercharge after using whatever supercharge you use. And then we have the EOG artifact. I'm gonna go skip a couple of things here. As I said before, if you guys want to know what was changes made to this artifact, check out the video at the end here. It will tell you the changes before and after. So we're using a 10k supercharge. So we're going to be getting that 3% supercharge every second. So that's the main thing I'm talking about here. The Caster's Watch here. I explain that more in detail. You can check out that video as I said before. So yeah, those are the 3 artifacts you're using if there is another healer in a raid doing the main healing. However, if you're the only healer, if you're solely healing, right, you will be using the page, and every time you hit a supercharge, you will be swapping in the Eye of Gemini. So you'll be using the Page of Destiny, stacking those group heals and stuff. When you group heals, heals the player above 40% and so on. You guys know that work. If you guys don't know, I'll have that other video. You guys can check it out. I explain that in detail, more in detail for you guys. So yeah. So as I said before, if you're solo healing, you'll be swapping the Eye of Gemini artifact in every time you hit that supercharge. However, if you're not so fond of artifact swapping and so on, you could just use this build here. But I wouldn't recommend you solo healing using this, these artifacts here, especially for elite content. You might get away with it with alerts, But for reads, it's a no-no. You need to have the page and swap it out every time you use the EFG. That's my, I recommend that. So yeah, guys. So I talk about everything for the mods, talk about the artifacts here. Now let me go to the allies and show you what I'm using. Alright, for the allies, for the combat ally, we're using Shock Jog there, the House of Legends bot. Support ally, we're going to use that. Cyborg here for the extra power, 30% passive recover. Mineral cells are about 50% in your base. And this is the main one here, support ally. Black Adam, we're using Supercharge generator abilities, generate 35%. Let me read that here. The power of Atom, it's called Supercharge generate. Abilities generate 35% more supercharge. So basically, we're going to have a supercharge generator in the loadout. I'll come to that soon, and I'll show you guys how this works later on. So those are the allies we'll be using. So let's get right into the loadout here for this. Alright, so as I said before, we have the supercharge generator. It's going to be working with that Black Adam ally. Then we're going to have Riptide. The reason why I have Riptide here is I'm going to be hitting the supercharge generator, which is called Drown, and resetting it every time. So I'm going to regenerate. Go back here to the allies. So I'll be regenerating 35 plus 35. That's 70% supercharge very quickly. We're just hitting that supercharge generator, and I'll show you guys this in a few. Go back to it here. So for example, let me show you guys here. If I should hold it out, I'll go to it here, hold out, right. So hit the generator, reset it, hit it again. I gotta be in combat for me to regenerate supercharge. So that's basically what you're doing here. It's a new loadout that I recently created, so I gotta get the hang of it, After a little while using this, I'll get the muscle memory and I'll be good to go. So let's get back into the loadout. So we're using Bubble. So let me start over. So it's Drown. That's the supercharge generator. Riptide to reset the supercharge generator. Back to Drown. Use Bubble. That's a supercharge. Yeah, it's a 10k supercharge. Cooldown 30 seconds. That's the best one to use. I was gonna use Call of Duty to help over some extra damage, but it's a 60-second cooldown, so I stick with this one for the shorter cooldown time. The Tranquil Pool, and it also does some good healing. And then I'm going to be using the Mend the Wave. That's a group heal, which you stack with the Page, and the Pseudomus with the priority heal. That's basically the loadout here. Simple, easy loadout, guys. And I'll show you guys how this works with the supercharge in a few now. So let's get right into it, and let me show you guys the rotation and stuff and how it regenerates the supercharge. I'll show it from the healing aspect from my point of view, and I'll show it from a DPS point of view, how much the DPS is getting back supercharge. Alright guys, you guys stay tuned. So I'll start off here by hitting the supercharge, which is Tranquil Pool at 10k supercharge. Hit my generator, reset it with Riptide, hit it again. So fast I regenerated the supercharge here, Tranquil Pool. Just remember guys, it's a 10k supercharge horse. Just keep on doing the process as you guys can see I'm doing here, using your powers. The Quizlet is going to also be kicking in here with the supercharge, also regeneration. Just keep on doing that rotation here, you can see there. I'm going to get the hang of it, eventually. It's new to me, as I said before. As you guys can see there, look how fast I'm regenerating supercharge. Remember guys, as I said before, it's a 10k supercharge. And look how fast I'm regenerating it. Very fast. With this build. Hit Drown, reset the Riptide, hit Drown again. See how fast the supercharge regenerates here. It's about to be full again. And then I hit my supercharge again. One thing I gotta mention, guys, you gotta be very careful using this build, because since they did update, you know, say for example a tank is using a 2.5k supercharge or a 5k supercharge, and for example if he hits his supercharge first and you happen to hit your supercharge around the same time he hit his own, you're not gonna get your green circle to proc. So you gotta be very careful using a supercharge. You know, you gotta communication, because you could use your supercharge, and if you have a tank cone that's already active, because the circles cannot stack anymore. So if a tank cone is active, you're not gonna get your supercharge generation to proc. You're just gonna get his zone. If he's using that 2.5k, it's gonna be less percent per second. So yeah, you gotta be very careful. You know, communication is the key now. You know, before we gotta just stack the supercharges or the greens upon one another. But I just want to say one thing too. Remember, guys, you gotta be next to the caster also. So if the healer is using a supercharge and for example there's a green circle, do not necessarily stay in a green circle. If the healer happen to move away from the green circle for whatever reason, just get closer to the healer, because it's next to the caster. The community has this idea that it's always the green circle that you have to stand just to get the regen, but it's not the case. You know, a lot of people still don't know this up to this day. They think it's the greens, but that's not the case. Just want to make that point. So yeah, guys, as you can see, I'm regenerating supercharge. You know, it's not really a spam, but I'm giving a lot of supercharge. So let me show it from the DPS point of view. So you guys stay tuned for that.
From the DPS point of view, these are the artifacts I'm going to be using here. The transformation card, the Quizlet artifact for the supercharge regen, and the Eye of Gemini artifact. This is the chest mod here, Penetrating Strikes. This is the head mod here, Supercharge Circuit Breaker. I'm electric DPS in here. Show you guys my allies here real quick. I do not have the Black Adam ally for that supercharge. So, use my supercharge here. On the right side here, my water bill. I regenerate the supercharge very quickly. As you can see there, it's regenerating very quickly. Circuit breaker is still down on cooldown there. It's ready now. Hit circuit breaker again. Hit the next supercharge here with the water bill. Regenerating a lot of supercharges there. So yeah, guys, you guys got an idea there. The supercharge regen here, guys. So if this video was very helpful, give it a try, guys. See if you guys like it. As I said before, I'll have more videos on the channel. If you want to see my healing build, check it out at the end screen here. And also if you want to see that water healing, regular build for healing, in elite raids and stuff, and also regular raids, check it out right here. Alright, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care.